Good morning, guys. This is day 17, I believe. Something that's occurred to me a lot recently is, well, first of all, to go back to the fear thing, this is a pretty big change for me this week. I'm going to be starting graduate school, which I've mentioned. Excuse me. I'm a little under the weather here. 2 classes this week for graduate school that I'm starting, and then I'm also going to be going to very likely going to a Toastmasters class, which is a public speaking class. And what I've realized a ton this weekend especially is how much and then I would guess many people are addicted to comfort. It's so easy in our culture to just veg out, watch TV, mindlessly surf on our phones, and really avoid living. Now, not that there's a problem with any of this on its own. Obviously, if you're on your computer browsing or if you're on your phone looking for something, and it's intentional, then that's fantastic. But I would be willing to bet that if you're anything like me, 90% of the time you're on your phone, it's not even looking for something, it's just an autopilot response. It's like I'll feel something like boredom, and I'll grab my phone and look at it and check to see if I have any notifications or anything. But this addiction to comfort, where we get so cozy in our comfort zones. Rather than push ourselves, we decide to stay where things are nice and easy and comfortable. Rather than go to the event we know we should go to or get a workout in, we tell ourselves that, we could just put it off and we'll just relax today. It doesn't seem to be a big deal doing that because, you can tell yourself it's only once or twice and you'll get back into your routine soon. But it really is a big deal because every time you purposefully, consciously or unconsciously, avoid doing something that you know you should do or want to do and that would help you grow, every time you avoid that and you choose to stay comfortable, what you're doing is you are literally shrinking your area of comfort. You're reinforcing any fears you had because you're telling yourself that next time I go and do this, it'll somehow be easier. If I skip the gym today, somehow I'll be able to lift more weight tomorrow. It's like, no, that's not true. Anything you avoid, you actually strengthen. So there's a great quote, I forget what the source of it is, but whatever you resist will persist. So if you're resisting facing something, it's going to keep showing up in your life. It's never going to go away, and you're going to keep being a slave to it. So even if you, I can think of specific examples in my life. Let's say I was going to attend a workshop or something, and I've totally done this before. You're all signed up, you're ready to go, and then maybe you don't feel good. Something comes up, some excuse that you can use, and you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to go anymore. And you're like, oh, it's not a big deal, and you actually feel better because you don't have to go anymore, so you feel comfortable. There's no fear or anxiety building up in you. But here's what happens. Let's say you reschedule the workshop or the event for a week later. You feel fine for 4 or 5 days maybe. And then you actually end up feeling worse as it gets closer. So you're going to feel fine while you're nice and comfy, but then when it gets time to go to the event again, the same feelings you had before, the same anxiety or worry or fear, they're going to be there. And until you can learn to move through those feelings, you're always going to be a slave to them, and they're always going to control your life. And it's just something I'm so starkly aware of in my life. I spent so much of my life avoiding those feelings, avoiding the discomfort, avoiding the fear. And I mean, I think you can live a relatively happy life doing that, but you're always going to feel in the back of your mind that you could have done more. You know, if you live a nice, cushy life, you'll always know that you could have stepped up a little bit more. Because I think if you truly follow your path, your heart, there's always going to be those moments that are just incredibly terrifying. But if you have the courage to follow through, you're just going to feel so much better and realize it was absolutely the right decision. So I would ask you to think about whether or not you are addicted to comfort. If you often choose to stay in rather than go out of the reasoning of I just want to stay in tonight and relax. But is it actually because you want to relax? Or are you going to end up staying home and not even really enjoying anything because you're just avoiding something you know you should be facing? So I'd really ask you to think about your life and if that's something you constantly do, because I know I sure as hell do it. And it's so easy to avoid change nowadays. You can just stick your head in the sand and literally watch Netflix for the rest of your life. Stay in, really. And yeah, but I don't think anyone wants that. In the moment it might feel okay, but you're going to look back and regret everything. So have a good week, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be a little more energetic, feeling still kind of run down, but peace out.